Hey, what's up guys? It's Luke W coming back at you again today with another video. I have a lovely guest with me right here today from the Seller mobile app. And guys, it's not just an app, it's going to take care of everything and kind of replace the normal Amazon Seller app that you guys are so accustomed to using, that I've been so accustomed to using. I have a lovely guest here today and she's going to share with us a little bit more about what the app has to offer. And stay tuned guys, you guys are going to love it. So would you mind just giving a brief introduction and then just talking about kind of the basics of what we're looking at here on the dashboard?
Definitely. So my name is Hiba. I'm from Seller Mobile. I am the Director of Sales and Operations here. Don't let our name fool you. We are not just a mobile app, so that is a very cool feature of what we do. We also have a web platform that really lets you take advantage of all of our seller tools and our analytics, while at the same time we've got a cherry on top. We've got a really robust mobile app that you can take with you wherever you go, to quickly see what's going on with your Amazon business, to make quick changes, and to keep up to date. Luke, you use both. Do you have a preference over one or the other?
Yeah, and actually it became one of the apps that I looked into right after my friend Clint, who's a huge Amazon seller. He just started in January, but he's doing over 100,000 in revenue per month at this point with just a couple products. He said, yeah, Luke, look into this Seller mobile app because it just has so much more data, so many more features, and it even gives you the cool cha-ching sound when you make a sale. So that's really cool. And since I've used it, I really love the fact that it actually shows you your profit margins. It shows you just everything that you have all right on your fingertips. So instead of the normal Amazon app that only just shows you the amount of sales and revenue that you made for a day, this goes way more in depth, and you guys are going to hear what we all have to offer. There's even a feedback tool in here that can manage kind of your emails. You can set up email templates and have all that there instead of having to go to all these different services for that type of stuff. So it's all integrated in here. This links to your Amazon account and you have all the data right there. So it's awesome.
Yeah, so Luke, you mentioned a lot of different things. I want to go one step back and kind of let you guys know that, so we talked about the web and the mobile app, which is fantastic to have both platforms, and every seller mobile user has access to both no matter what. The other thing that our platform is great for is scalability. So any business owner knows that you've got to prepare, for that novice seller to start off. Everyone starts off that way. They start small and then they get bigger. So they need to make sure that the tools and resources they're using can grow with them. Seller Mobile is great for scalability. So, we talked about how that cha-ching sound that we've got every time you have an order on Amazon, Seller Mobile will give you a push, if you choose to enable it, we'll give you a push notification with that cha-ching sound so you know that you made some money right there. To the more seasoned seller who doesn't necessarily want to get those cha-chings every few seconds because they're selling a lot, they can use our bulk upload tool to, in a quick shot, add information about their sorry about that. Add information about phone is ringing. Add information about their cost for that product, what they pay for shipping for that product, all within one shot with that bulk upload tool. So you don't have to go in or product by product to enter that information in. And then Luke also mentioned how easy it was to sign up. It's 3 quick steps. You download the app on your phone or you log into it on the web app. You connect your Seller Central account to Seller Mobile, and boom, right there, you've got, sorry about that.
No problem.
I'm like this. And you've got data right there and then at your fingertips. All your analytics, you've got all of your seller tools. So it really is, but if it's as easy as we try to make that user interface, we keep it really robust and we keep it really nuanced. So you can see all of the information that you wouldn't get to traditionally on Seller Central or other apps that you use.
Exactly. And guys, for you that are just tuning in, that's awesome. I hope you all are staying tuned because we're going to have this on the replay as well. You guys can keep it watched on my channel, but we're going to have kind of like a little discount to this as well. It's like $60 off. So Hiba's offering us a great deal for anyone that signs up in the next 30 days. Just a quick thing that we're going to throw out for you guys. And we can jump into right here what we're looking at in the dashboard, and then we're going to jump right into it. So let's do it.
Perfect. Let's do it. I look a little cross-eyed though because I'm looking at a lot of different screens, so ignore that. But look at this really cool dashboard. So the way we organize our app is everything that you see here on the left-hand side are analytics, and everything you see here on the right-hand side are our seller tools. However, what we do a really great job with is integrating that information. We know that sellers don't want to look at their information in silos. They want the big picture and they want to see the same thing from different perspectives. And so we do a really great job of getting that data out there. So one of the first things you see here is our sales chart. I mean, this is a little bit daunting, but really cool to look at, and it's really colorful, so it catches your eye as soon as you log in. So here we've got a 30-day view of what your sales were. What your sales were for the last 30 days. The way it's broken down is we've got your order revenue, we've got your fees and costs, your profit, your margin, and your units. And you can actually click on certain things to take them out, and then click. Sorry, I clicked it twice. And then click it again to see that specific thing. So that makes it really interesting. You can look at it however you want to without some of this information being distracting. One more thing you can do is you can hover over any particular day. And the same breakdown that you see on the right-hand side, you see for that specific date. So you can look at your units, your sales, and all of that information for that day. The next thing I want to show you guys, again, we're going to go through a lot of things rather quickly. And, I encourage you to, after you're done with this and you want if you have a specific question, you want to see something in more detail, contact us at sellermobile.com. We've got a chat feature, we've got emails, call us, like you've heard a couple of people are calling right now. It was transferred on to our other salespeople. And we can do this for you one-on-one and answer questions like we did for Luke a couple of weeks ago. So the next thing I want to show you is, sometimes I feel like as sellers, we get so caught up with our day-to-day, selling and what's going on with our sales is we have to occasionally step back and look at the big picture. And our year-over-year analysis does a really great job of that. So anytime, you're like, man, how am I doing overall? How are my sales doing compared to last year as this year? So here you can go over to the year-over-year analysis and click on any of these categories to really learn more about how that is doing over the course of last year versus this year. Luke, I'm just making sure, is that popping up on our thing when I clicked on here?
It actually just stays saying sales there. So I don't know if that's showing the drop-down menu, but not a big deal.
Yeah, for some reason. Yeah, I see that it isn't, but I will tell you that it's got sales, fees, promotions, profits. Those are the different categories that you can see that year-over-year analysis and compare how you were doing from last year to this year. The other chart that I want to show you here is our order by geographical location. Luke, you think this is really cool, right?
Yeah. This is really cool because if you're selling a particular niche item or a seasonal type item, you can look at what states are buying this product and realize, hey, I'm getting most of my sales from the Midwest or from the East Coast, maybe for this particular reason. And then you can target Facebook ads or different ads towards those states. And really, I really like this.
Exactly. Yeah. So, just an anecdotal story. We had, I was at a conference and this guy was talking about, he thought that he was selling his particular product to folks on the coast, right? The East and the West Coast. And that's what he thought he was selling. That's why he was buying it, because he thought people would, that's where people would buy it. And, this is before Seller Mobile came around. This is like 10 years ago. And he did an informal survey to get a better idea of who his customer was. It's important to know who your customer is as a seller. And what he found out was a bunch of people in the middle of the country were buying his product, and he wasn't even marketing to them. So what came out of this was this whole market that he was ignoring that was interested in his product. And that's exactly what this does. This gives you a big picture of who your customers are, where you're selling what. Marketing is a great way to look at it. Or, you start expanding, you start getting bigger, and you think, hey, where should my warehouse be? I need to, especially if you're doing MFN and you're shipping this stuff out yourself. So it's good to have this information and to understand who is buying your product. So I'm gonna sort of skip over some of this, even though it's really cool, and I want your subscribers to sign up. We've got a 30-day free trial and look at each of these graphs like by themselves individually. But I do want to point out one thing. So here on the bottom right, we've got the profit in sales. This is great for finding anomalies. So if you've got an order that was, there's something odd about it. So here on the top, you see this particular order, the profits were really high. Why? You click on that order ID there and it takes you straight to that order. As opposed to, on the other hand, you've got an order there where, you lost money. To help you understand really, this just throws it out there and lets you pick out the things that are just, something doesn't look right. Let me look into it is what it allows you to do. The next thing I want to go over, just because we're right here, is if you see on the bottom right there, there's that chat feature. We're here for you. That's one of the things about Seller Mobile is we want to provide, we understand that there is so much information on our platform and that you are bound to have questions. So just click on it, ask us a question during business hours. We've got our sales team ready to answer your questions, give you screenshots, like we can just do all of it right there. So we are available to you every step of the way.
Yeah, and just looking at the profit and sales chart that you were just sharing with us about the anomalies, it's really important because when you're selling a lot of units and you have some of these anomalies and you're sifting through all your orders in Seller Central and you're getting confused by all these different numbers that you don't know which order ID that sale went to, it's right here for you in a click of a button. So this saves you a ton of time in that aspect as well.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We love that Luke uses Seller Mobile. The next thing I want to show you guys, so we're talking big picture here. We're talking aggregate information of your sales. I want to go into sales by product. So this will list all the sales that you've had for specific products chronologically. Let's just click on this first one here. When I click on the product details link here, it takes me to what we call a product lightbox. So within this product lightbox, we've got chock full of information. I won't go over everything. What I want to go over, though, is the profit and margin. So just a second ago, we talked about the aggregate profit and margin, right? That was all your sales within that 30-day period. Here, what you can do is you can look at that same information, but at a micro level. You can look at it on a product level. So that way you get the big picture, but then you can also see how is this product been doing over time. It's interesting to look at sort of ebbs and flows of your sales to say, wait, what happened here? Oh, what happened here that it's doing really well? And then, of course, with all of our charts, you can go in here and change that date range. It's got that filter for some reason on our demonstration. It's not popping up. But here, you can look at it for a varying degree of time. So that is the profit and margin. Luke, do you have any questions about that?
I think I'm pretty well versed in this so far, but it's really good that you can see, on the sales dashboard, all of the sales coming in, and then at the micro level, just looking at your particular product, because with the normal Amazon seller app, you can click on one of the bars and it will show you kind of this, but it's not giving you literally like the promotions. You even have sales tax and gift wrap money that's coming in here. So it's literally everything that you could possibly want to have. You got refunds in here, and I mean it's everything that you need and more, honestly.
Exactly, and exactly like I showed you, you can filter things that are relevant to you, whatever you want to look at, so we can take information and put more information in.
We do have a question actually from one of the people in the live chat. He's saying, hello, Hiba, how do you set up the profit calculator, or how does that work? So just kind of, you can maybe explain, but it's just about, putting your product price in manually. You have to put in how much you've paid for your product over wherever you're sourcing it from. You put that into this app, and then it will just kind of calculate the profit from that.
Exactly. So yeah, your Luke is absolutely. So I actually went ahead and clicked on the screen. So you can put in your cost for the item and your shipping cost right here on the item level, Or like we talked about earlier, you can use our bulk upload tool. So if you've got lots and lots of SKUs, you're of course not going to want to click on every single item to put this information in, but you'll do that on our bulk upload tool. It's an Excel file with all of your items. You put in the cost. You can add your cost. You can add your item cost, your shipping cost, and your supplier information right there.
Yeah.
Things that you wouldn't want to give to Amazon, but you can put into a third-party app that, because we are not sharing that information with anyone. So yeah, you can do that right there. You click save, and all of that information successfully uploads and again disseminates throughout all different aspects of the app. So that's a great question.
Yeah, no, that's great. We covered that one. So, I mean, we can just keep on moving on. This is good stuff.
Let's do it. So the next thing I want to show you is our restock tool. So, you know, as sellers, we do so much research trying to figure out what's going to sell, what I should be selling, looking at different brands, looking at different categories, and we put so much energy into that. And then finally, we find products that we want to sell. And we're like, you know what, this is going to sell well. I've done my research. I've done my homework. The next big question is, all right, well, how much, right? How much do I need to know? And so what our restock tool does is, again, I'm going to click on the product lightbox and show you a different view. Is what it does is it allows you to, gives our algorithmic forecast tool, it takes that algorithmic tool and we forecast for you how much you're going to sell. So if I click on demand forecast right here, this is actually, let me do this. I wanted to show a different one. Let me click on that because I think it does a better job of explaining what I'm trying to explain here. So I geek out about this chart. I think this is just the coolest thing ever because on just this little graph, it shows you so much information. So everything you see here in green is what you have sold for this year. Everything that you see in blue, it's kind of hidden there in the back, is what you sold for this month last year. And then everything in orange is what we are forecasting that you will sell for the near future. So in this case, it goes to January 2019. What we do is we've got a really cool algorithm that takes information from your past sales. It takes information from, you know, seasonality of that product. And again, this is at a product level. And it forecasts for you how much you are going to sell of that product. That way you can make sure that you are keeping on top of, you know, your inventory and your purchasing. The next piece I want to show you that just goes really hand in hand with it is this is us telling you what you need to have in stock. When we go into our lost sales analysis, what this says is if you do not restock, this is what you stand to lose. So, you know, you actually fell in a perfect page here because it's got two different opposite views. So here I can see that for this particular item, if I look on the right-hand side here, it says that I've got 0 fulfillable items. I've got 3 that are unfulfillable. That just means that something happened. I have those, but they're damaged or they're no good. So they are not available to sell right now. But we are forecasting, Seller Mobile is forecasting that you are going to sell 66 of this product, 60 sale items of this product over the next 7 days and up to 327 in the next 2 months. And this is what you need to restock. So here on the bottom, it tells you restock now. You're going to sell these items. If you don't sell these items, if you don't restock, this is what you stand to lose. So it tells you both on an item level and then on a sales level, which is really staggering to look at. We go one step further and say that because we are set on a 30-day restock cycle, but you can go in as a customer and change your restock cycle to whatever is most appropriate for you based on your suppliers. So we say based on a 30-day restock cycle is you have got to restock 217 of these items. Otherwise, if you don't, you know, you're going to lose a ton of money over the next 2 months. The flip side of that is here, this tells me that I've got 319 fulfillable items on that second row. And it tells me you don't need to restock right now. don't worry about that. That one is doing well. You've got enough in stock, and you've got really over 2 months before you have to worry about this item. Because what sellers are trying to do is they're trying to find that perfect balance, right, between what to restock and what not to restock. And this comes into play. I mean, we know that the Amazon long-term storage fees can be killer. Yeah. So you've got to be really careful about getting things moving quickly. Otherwise, you end up paying a lot of money. So this gives you a quick overview of, on an item level, what things are selling well, what do I need to have in stock, otherwise I'm losing sales. And then on the flip side, what things aren't selling well, and why am I paying long-term storage fees if you know that this is just sitting there collecting dust? Luke, any thoughts about that? Anything that you think that I should add?
I mean, I just think it's crazy that you guys have an algorithm that can literally do the forecasting of how many sales you're getting, and it's taking all the data from just months and months compiled on each other. How can you tell us if you haven't sold a product? Because a lot of people on my channel maybe are just looking to get into starting selling on Amazon. We do have some veterans here as well, but for someone that doesn't have a lot of data built up behind their product, how is the algorithm gonna, does it need a lot of time before it can kind of adjust to how much inventory you need to keep in stock?
So as soon as you start selling that product on Amazon, we are collecting that data. So you don't have to be a new, seller mobile customer, because we're collecting, that year or 2 years worth of data from your Seller Central account. However, the longer you're selling on Amazon, the more accurate that data is going to be. So we look at, how compared to last month, how you're going to do this month, and then we've got 2 months more of data, for the third month, so we can. But the way the algorithm works is looks at your sales and looks at your history, so we can make that determination for you and how much you need to restock. So the longer you've been using it, the more robust and more accurate that information is going to be.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, it's really good to have in handy, because a lot of people, when they look into getting an Amazon course or something, they don't know how many units to buy. And I've taken courses where they just say, get 500 units and ship it in there. And then they're like, hey, it's not selling as fast as I wanted, or something like that. And then they hitting these $11 per cubic foot or whatever for Amazon long-term storage fees and stuff. So
yeah, those can get really hefty. And so so it's really important to know how your products are moving. That way, you can stock the things that are going to make you money.
So that was a great explanation of this. I think we can look into maybe one other thing, or maybe we can hop right into the whole feedback, because that's huge. People want to, and this integration right here, where you have an ability to have an email autoresponder to your customers on Amazon that's already built into your whole sales system as well, is just excellent, because there's other tools out there like Feedback Wiz and all these other tools that you can get, but this is right integrated into your one tool. So that's the premise of this whole app, to have everything all in one place.
Exactly. Yeah, you hit it right on the nose. So, so what is great about our feedback tool, what is great about any feedback tool really is, you want to give that buyer the best experience they can, right? And so, we don't want people to get overzealous and send 20 different emails to get feedback, because Amazon will reprimand you. So be very cautious in how you use that. We allow you to send as many emails as you'd like. However, we want to discourage you from sending too many. So it's really, rule of thumb is 1 per order. And what we do here is we automate that process for you, right? So you go in and say, you can do it as easy as, I want to send this message to, you can customize the message, or you can pick from one of our, the one from our library. Is I want to send this message to everyone that orders something from us. And what I want to do is, we allow you to add smart tags, so it is customized for every single buyer. And it just runs for you. You say, I want to send this email, or you can say, I want to send this email to customers that buy this product between this date on this channel. So we let you get as granular as you want. So you can have 20 different emails that you send to people, or it can be very quick and easy and just that one email that goes to everybody. And so there is value in, you know, reaching out to your customer. I know, Luke, you've talked about you try to do a lot of things in your seller account where, you know, you leave little notes, and you really want people, your buyers, to have that pleasant experience and remember you.
Yeah, especially because, like I was just mentioning, talking to you about before we started the video, how Amazon's making it harder for people to get reviews to launch their products and stuff like that. You need legit customer reviews, and if you have anyone that's been in your family friend circle or anything like that, or even Facebook friends, Amazon won't let that review go through, and they'll put a flag up on your product that you're trying to get that review on, and they're going to be auditing it a lot more and stuff. So you need legit reviews, especially nowadays. Since May, the month of May happened, they removed hundreds of thousands of reviews that people had got illegitimately, and so now more than ever, it's made a more easy level playing field. I shouldn't say maybe easy, but at least it's making it available for normal sellers like me and other guys that don't have a huge capital to go pay $10,000 to go get 500 reviews real quick or something like that. It's made it more easy for us to kind of have a good competitive, level playing field with everyone else. So this is what you need to focus on now, is where we can have an email tool or something like that. I do product insert cards because we want to get these customers happy and leaving feedback on our products. That's a no-brainer.
Right. And, you know, honestly, people like getting feedback. People like sort of getting in touch with, you know, the buyer. But what this does is it just creates an environment where it's easy to do, right? Mm-hmm. So it just makes it, you're just creating, you know, a platform where they can quickly go in. There's a link attached that takes them straight to your seller feedback page, nice. Or that product review page, whichever you choose. And it's quick and easy for them, because just like we want to make this experience, you know, easy for our customers, you guys as sellers want to do the same thing for your buyers. And so it's all about creating an environment where it's, you know, we want to engage people. And the other piece is too, you know, I've heard some people say, well, I don't want any reviews because I'm afraid of bad reviews. Well, what this does, no, really, people say that, but what this does is it circumvents that, right? Because if someone that's upset, and, you know, about that buyer experience, what you're doing is you're sending them a message saying, hey, if you have an issue, come to me, you know, before going straight to Amazon and leaving a review, which then impacts how you get to sell on that platform. So it's just opening up communication so you can be the best seller that you can be.
Exactly.
Luke, do we have 2 more minutes to talk about our repricer tool?
Let's please do that. We have a bit of time. We got 5 more minutes if we need it. So thanks for everyone that's tuning in as well. Everyone that's tuned in so far. We've had a good amount of viewers in here. So if you guys like the video, you can always drop a thumbs up, and always in the description below we're gonna have the Seller Mobile website and then the discount code right below it. So you guys can always get a more broad look and maybe more in-depth look there at the same time. And there's even a 30-day free trial as well, so that's great.
Right, exactly. So I just want to very, very quickly talk about our repricer tool, because there's so much, it's impossible to get it all out. But I just want to, you know, just quickly, that really what our repricer, what sets us apart, is we allow you to create a strategy. So a repricer for our newer or novice sellers is we're automating that repricer for you. So for, you know, a lot of people, you want to make sure that your price is competitive to is competitive to your competitors. Just use that word twice. And so what we want to do is, and a lot of people go in and manually change their prices every day to make sure that they are within that range of their competitors. And what we allow you to do is set a strategy, so you can go in and set for this particular item. This is, you know, this is the profit I want to keep for the item. This is the min max I want to keep, either on a dollar level or on a percentage level in terms of your margin. And every time that, you know, the price changes for my competitor, I want to make sure that I stay within this range, but I try to match them. So we've got, you know, the whole point of repricing is you want to make sure you're competitive, while at the same time making sure that you're not losing that profit margin. So we allow you to increase your price. You know, if there's no competitors and you know that item is going to sell, then why not make the most of that order, that sale, while at the same time decreasing your price so you are not outbid by your competitors. So, you know, we encourage you to go in there, look at our strategies. It's very quick to add that repricer, quick and easy to add that repricer strategy to specific items. And so, yeah, that's just such a quick overview of our tools. And, you know, maybe if it does well and Luke invites us back on his channel, we can talk about certain things in a little bit more depth.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to kind of conclude this video. There's a lot of information in here, and you guys have the ability to go look into it yourselves, check it all out, and the website's right down there. So you guys can look into it, try the trial out, because honestly, that's what I started with, and I literally was like kind of blown away. I loved hearing the cha-ching sound on my phone, but then I looked into seeing how, boom, right there on the home screen, it's like I can look at my profits, the sales for the day, and the whole profit thing was one of my favorite parts, because I'm not to the point where I have hundreds and hundreds of SKUs where I'm really going in depth with things, but just having the nice factor of looking at my actual money that I'm really keeping and putting in my pocket was one of my favorite parts about the whole thing.
For sure. Yeah, thank you so much for having us on, for having me on, having Seller Mobile on, and yeah, we look forward to hearing from your subscribers. Comment below if you have questions. I'll stay in touch with Luke to help him answer those questions, and yeah.
All right, well, thanks a lot, guys, and we will see you in the next video. Peace out.
Bye.